So hello everyone, and let's understand how we can get inside in the Docker container. Okay, so right now in the previous videos, we have seen that we are using this Docker container like the Docker images, not the Docker the PS dash all. So in the previous video, I am using this image Rohit Marathe /NFT dash website. So right now I am not using this image to get inside in a Docker container. So rather than I am using the Nginx image. So where it is? So this is the by default Nginx image, like the Docker run dash p 80 Nginx. So I am using this image where it is localhost colon 80. So I am using this image, the Nginx by default image, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get inside in the Docker container of Nginx. So once I get inside the container, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this file, okay, the hello to Nginx. So I will be replace this file to hello to everyone file. Okay, so there will be text will be display here like hello to everyone. So rather than having this text like welcome to Nginx. Okay, so right now I'm just go ahead and close this one, and it's going to be automatically stop here. Okay, so let's find out what is the container ID of this Nginx application that's are running couple of time earlier. So I'm using the docker ps command, like the docker ps and dash all. Okay, so as you can see that there is image section here, and here the name of image like Nginx, and this is the container ID. So I'm just going to copy this one, and once I clear all this thing, so I'm going to start the Docker container of Nginx image. So again, you have to use the simple command like docker start. So after that, you have to just paste the container ID. So once you paste the container ID and once you refresh it, so as you can see that the image is running fine here. Okay, also you can verify using the docker ps command like docker ps. So as you can see that our Docker container is in the running state. The first one we have this Nginx image, and second we have this NFT website, and both have their containers. But I'm just going to stop the second image and the second container. So the Rohit Marathe / the NFT website. So I'm just using the docker stop command. So docker stop, then paste the container ID, and if I just again docker ps, so we have only one container running right now, that is the Nginx. Okay, so our Docker container is in the running state, but how we can get inside the Docker container? So let me show you one thing. So as you know, now for different use cases we are using the different commands here. Like for building the we are using docker build, for pulling the image you are using docker pull. So we have the different command for different use cases. So if you want to get inside a Docker container, for that reason we have a specific command, so, and that's known as a docker exec command. So as you can see that we have this example here. So using the docker exec, then we have to provide the option, then container, then commands. So what does is mean? So let me show you. So if you want to get inside a Docker container, so you have to use this command like docker exec -it. So -it stands for interactive, and then you have to mention your container ID. Then you have to use a shell. So here as you can see that it's using the sh, but we can use the bash or bin bash shell as well. So you might be have some of the doubts like what is the sh stands for, what is the bin bash stands for, but trust me, it's very easy, and let me do a demonstrate here, and then you can able to understand. So first thing what we have to do, so we have to use this command like docker exec -it. So I'm just going to copy this command and paste this one, and then what we have to mention, we have to mention the container ID here. Okay, so what is our container ID? So this is our container ID. So I'm just going to copy this one and paste it here. Okay, and then we have to use the shell here. So it's have the sh here. So this is the shell. So either you can use the sh here, or either you can use the bash shell. Okay, so you can also use the bin bash. Okay, so using the bin bash, so what will happen, so you will be able to interact with your Docker container using the command line. Okay, so you have to follow this command only for get inside a Docker container, like the docker exec, then -it, then I have to mention the container ID, then I am using the shell here, the bin bash. So you have to give the space here. Okay, then I'm just going to enter here, and once I enter, so once you press enter, then we automatically get inside a Docker container. So let's verify. So for that I am just using the ls command. So from the ls we can just able to list down all the files. I am just logged in here from root user, like root @ and the container id here. Okay, so we are in the docker container. So as you know that we are inside in the docker container of nginx image. And let me show you one thing again here. So where it is, so this is the path. So in this path, in the usr share nginx and html, all the files is been stored here. So using that file we can able to see this page. So let's suppose, so if I delete all the pages from that particular directory, so what will happen? So first thing first, we have to follow this path like usr share nginx and html. So I'm just going to open this one. I'm going to just do a ls to list down all the things. Then we have this usr folder here. So let's do a cd the usr. Then we have to follow, not the follow, we have to go inside in the share folder. Okay, so we have to go in the share. Then we have to go in the nginx here. So I'm just going to again in the nginx. And then we have to go in the html folder. Okay, so as you can see that now we are in the inside of the directory where all the files has been stored, and using that file our image is running here. Okay, so not the image, the docker container is running here. So let's suppose if I remove these pages. Okay, so if I using the rm command like rm-rf, so I'm just remove these pages. So I'm just copy this one and paste not paste this. So let's copy this page. So I want to delete the both the pages here, like the index one also. Okay, and if I refresh this, so as you can see that I got the 403 error here from the nginx, which means so we have deleted the files in the docker container, hence we are getting this error here. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm just creating another file, the index.html file, and in that file I have the text known as hello to everyone. So I'm just going to print the text, the hello to everyone, and it will be displayed here. So let's do that. So I'm just go ahead and ls, and I'm just using the echo command. So using the echo command you can able to print anything on the screen, or not on the screen or the terminal, the same thing is here. So I'm using the echo command, and I'm going to print here like the h1 tag, and I'm using the hello to everyone. And let's go close this html tag, the double inverted comma. So you have to make sure all the things you have to be add should be in the double inverted comma. So after that I'm just using this arrow, and I'm going to save this file, this text in the index.html. So what will happen, so it's going to print a hello to everyone text, and it's going to be saved in the index.html file. Okay, so once I save this one, so if I do a quick ls, so as you can see that the file is saved here, the index.html. And using the cat command you can able to view the content of any file. I'm using the cat, and then I am just mention the file name here, the index.html. So our index.html file is ready, and everything should have to be work. So right now what I'm going to do, I am going to just refresh this page. Okay, and once I refresh this, as you can see that I got this print, the text is printed here like hello to everyone, and everything is working nice. So which means we can easily get inside a docker container using the docker exec command. So if you want to get exited from this docker container, so you have to use the control C, control D. So you will be exited from the docker container. If you do quick ls, so as you can see that we have all the files, and this is our files. So this is our current working directory of my machine. Okay, and if I again use the docker ps command, so as you can see that our docker container is in the running state. So let's suppose if I stop this one. Okay, so if I stop, not the stop, let's run another docker container here like docker ps, docker run and -p, and this time I am using that another port here, and again I am using the same image, the nginx image, and let's again the localhost, the 81. And again you can see that we have these two images, and both are running the nginx image, but one thing you have to be notice, this is the different Docker container. So if I stop this one and if I do quick not the ls, the docker ps dash all. So as you can see that we have the two images here, and this is the up from the 26 minutes, and this is the nginx image that we have recently created. Okay, and both have the different docker container id. So which means, so whenever you are running the docker run command and the nginx image or any image you are running, so at that time a new docker container will be created and running the image in the new docker container. So if you want to get inside a specific docker container, then you have to use the docker container id. And that's pretty much for this lecture, and I hope you will be practicing a lot of the docker. So docker is very important, so you have to do more hands-on on the docker, and see you guys in the next lecture.